Hey yo, what it good, chat? What it do, chat? What it do? How's everybody today? It's a little bit rainy, but that's okay. We try and do what we can do. Good news, bad news. Extremely good news is that we are officially going to do a 1-hour video. Link is in the description to these people. You already know, full credit to them. IMR Scary Tales, huge shout out to them. Full credit goes to them. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, alright? It's just gonna sound crazy. But hear me out, chat, hear me out. Is there a 1 hour? If there's not a 1 hour, we're gonna have to do a 2 hour. Which I really don't want to do a 2 hour. I don't know if my phone can handle a 2 hour. Oh my god, there is a 35 hour. There's a 3 hour. Let me know, chat, during Christmas. I'll react to this one, the third horror. The 3-hour horror story. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to do a 2 hour. Aren't we? Let's keep looking, chat. Because if I can't find one that's 1 hour, I'm gonna have to do a not an hour one, unfortunately. These are 3 Wendy's. If I can do a Wendy's horror story, then maybe I'll do a second Wendy's horror story. Do you guys want that? Yeah, let's check that out. Alright, so we're going to do 2 Wendy's horror stories, which would basically probably make it out to 6 Wendy's horror stories. So yeah. Let's get this going. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell to be notified every time I upload. Let's get it. Got the 401. Y'all already know what to do. You guys go down below. Hit that link down below. You'll go to their channel and you'll check out their stuff. I love their stuff. Full credit to them. Let's get it. Might not look like it, but I'm wearing headphones. Wireless. Army.
Hi guys, my name's Michaela. I'm a manager at Wendy's. I can't say I love my job, but I don't mind it either. I like the environment. I get along well with my coworkers, and in general, I'm pretty comfortable. Everyone says I'm comfortable just because I'm the manager, but they're wrong. I have so much more work than everyone else. The real reason I'm comfortable is that I know what it's like to feel terrible, and I was during my first few months here. Not because I felt a lot of pressure, because it was my first job, or because I preferred to be at home. The real reason I was sick was that someone wanted to kill me. The day it all started, I'd finished cleaning the bathrooms, and on my way out, I ran into Jonathan, the security guard. He had a letter in his hand and seemed to be looking for me. Hey, Michaela, I think this is for you. I found it on an empty table.
A letter? Are you sure it's for me?
I don't know many people named Michaela. He had a point. I've never met anyone named after me either.
Ooh, is it a love letter? Are you confessing to her?
It's not mine. Someone left it on the table.
I'm just teasing you, Johnny. I overheard the conversation. Hey, Mika, give me that. Hey, give that back. No way. I want to meet your secret admirer. Every day I watch you. Every day my heart dazzles looking at your eyes. Your golden hair shines, even held back by your Wendy's cap, when your smile invites me to be a part of your life. Okay, you should stop reading that. No way. I've been your secret admirer since the first time I saw you, since chance crossed our eyes the day you walked in for the first time. I'm in love with you. I know you're single, but I'm not interested in asking you out. I don't want to be another man in your life. I want to leave a mark on it forever, so... Okay, this is too much.
Keep reading. What does it say?
Let's see. Give me the letter. So, I will kill you.
Oh.
Mika, are you okay? No. Stay calm. We'll talk to someone.
Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on you. I won't let anyone come near you.
Thanks, guys.
For the next few days, everyone at Wendy's kept their eyes open. I felt like everyone was protecting me, and throughout the time, nothing was happening. I received a few more letters, but less and less frequently. Everything seemed to work itself out, until one day. That day, it was my turn to close. My other two colleagues left a moment before me as I had to finish closing the cash register. I wasn't worried, as I was confident that Jonathan would let me know if anything unusual happened. What I didn't expect was that it would actually happen. Mika, I don't want to alarm you, but you should hurry. Something strange is going on.
What's going on?
Come, look. When we went to the entrance, the door was already closed, but behind it, a man was standing. The man's clothes were in disarray. He was very tall and had a huge, unkempt beard. The gaze was piercing, and since I arrived, he just stared at me. I tried to tell him to go away, but he didn't answer me. Just stood there, staring. Michaela! Whoa!
That scared me. How does he know my name?
Suddenly, the man pulled out something from behind him. It was an axe.
Oh, no.
This must be your secret admirer. I'll go in the back and call the police. You stay here and yell at me if he does anything weird.
Okay.
Jonathan ran out the back door, and I turned around to look for my attacker, but he was gone.
What? Where could he have gone? He was here just a second ago. Oh my God. Jonathan!
I ran towards Jonathan's voice, and there I could see them. Jonathan and my attacker were struggling at the back door. I ran to help him, but before I could do so, Jonathan was able to push him out the back door and quickly lock the door. Michaela! Looks like the boys forgot to lock this one.
Oh, Jonathan, he could have killed you. Are you all right?
Yeah, he didn't do anything to me. I managed to call the police. We'll be here for a while until they come.
Is it safe?
Yeah, he won't be able to get in. Let your parents know you're here and that you're safe. They get worried and come looking for you before the police get here. They might run into that psycho.
Yeah, good thinking.
Terrified, I called my parents and told them that everything was fine, that Jonathan was with me, and that the police were on their way. They were worried and wanted to come anyway, but they understood that if the psycho caught them, they would cause more trouble, so they just asked me to keep them in the loop. Hey, let me borrow your phone for a moment.
Yeah, do you have someone to call too?
Nope, I just have to stop you from talking to your parents again.
What?
Suddenly, and without warning, Jonathan threw the cell phone on the floor, breaking it immediately.
What have you done?
When I looked up to see him, his face had changed. He had a huge grin on his face, was moving his body nervously, and even worse, an obsessive look on his face that I'd never seen before.
Jonathan?
You are so innocent, Michaela. It was so easy to lock you up with me. Michaela! Michaela! You can stop shouting now. You'll get people's attention.
I don't understand. Who is he?
Just a homeless guy I paid for a little performance. Poor guy. Despite his height, he's a coward, but he's given it his all because he thinks I'll pay him more. If only he knew I'd frame him after killing you.
No! You know there are cameras here. You know the police will come.
Oh, come on, Michaela. I deactivated all the cameras. I never called the police, and thanks to your call, not only your parents won't come after you, but they will think I'm the hero who killed their daughter's murderer. Oh, I've waited so long for this. Every day I watch you. Every day my heart dazzles looking into your eyes. Your golden hair shines, even held back by your Wendy's cap, while your smile invites me to be a part of your life. As he was about to attack me, I managed to knee him in the testicles and took the moment to run away.
Right,
I hid in the storage, and quickly, I started to hear his voice. I love your spirit, Mika, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this cat and mouse game is really fun for me, but, you know, I have to call the police, so time is against me. Stepping out of the shadows, I tried to hit him as hard as I could, but he easily caught my hand.
In your dreams.
With my other hand, I punched him in the nose, which knocked him back. My secret admirer knew very little about my life, especially since I practiced martial arts as a girl. Anyway, the danger was not over. The man threw a knife at me, which I managed to dodge by falling to the ground. He tried to throw himself on top of me again, but this time he didn't count on anything. The same screwdriver he tried to use to kill me was next to me. You're dead, Michaela!
No!
As Jonathan spun around on the floor, I opened the back door and stepped out. Behind the door, the homeless man was staring at me. His gaze was not dangerous. It was a combination of surprise and fear. I looked back at him and he began to walk backward, losing himself in the night. After calling the police, Jonathan was arrested for attempted murder. Over time, and thanks to social media, many other similar allegations began to appear. No other girl could ever identify him, but this time Jonathan made a mistake. He harassed someone from his own work, someone who knew his real first and last name. Today, very few of my colleagues who still work with me know my story. Sometimes they want to tell it, but I forbid them to do so. I prefer that they're not scared, and that without them knowing it, someone is protecting them.
Go follow them on Instagram.
Have you ever worked a night shift by yourself? I have, and let me tell you, it's not fun. I used to work at Wendy's, something that I didn't take pride in, but it paid the bills. I worked the night shift because that's when they needed someone, and I was always the one who was available. The restaurant was always empty at night. It was so empty, in fact, that the only sound you could hear was the sound of your own footsteps. That's why, when I started hearing laughter, I knew something was wrong. At first, I thought it was just kids playing pranks on me. Dozing off as I waited for the next customer, I was startled awake by the laughter. This was the first time I heard it, mind you, and it startled me out of my sleep. Welcome to Wendy's. What can I get for you? I stopped, my sleep-addled brain finally becoming aware of the fact that I had just heard laughter. No voices, nothing. Radio silence over the intercom system. My mind must have been playing tricks on itself, and there definitely wasn't any customer in the drive-thru either. I tried to shake off the feeling that something was wrong, but I couldn't. The laughter kept ringing in my ears despite the fact that it had stopped even before I had fully woken up from my sleep. What the heck? My voice drifted off as something outside of the window caught my eye. The flickering light across the street seemed dimmer than usual, and even though I've never had good night vision, I could make out something covering the light. Creeping closer to the window, I squinted my eyes in an attempt to see what was going on. Suddenly, the object seemed to focus, and I could finally make out what it was. My heart leapt into my throat as I stumbled backward, tripping over a chair and landing with a thud on the floor. The light was dimmer, that was for sure. What seemed to be a decaying hand reached over the streetlight, covering it with its bony fingers. My heart racing and chills running down my spine, I pulled myself to my feet and stared out the window. The hand was gone. The light seemed to be normal now. I must have been seeing things, I told myself. Maybe the lack of sleep was finally getting to me. As I told myself that, though, the light suddenly flickered brighter than usual, the light shining unreasonably brightly before a loud pop and explosion made the light go out completely. I yelped and covered my eyes, the change in light hurting them. When I looked at the window again, however, I saw something that made me wish I had never looked in the first place. A man stood barely inches from the drive-thru window, though I wouldn't describe him as a man at all. His long, bony face was skull-like in nature, with a hole in it where his nose had once been. He had hair, but his gigantic forehead eclipsed this wispy feature. His eyes were reddish spheres, no pupil visible on the filmy red and white surface. The most notable feature, however, was the 3 hands that covered the bottom half of his face. "Who the hell are you?" I yelped as his hand came up and pressed against the glass, his long nails scratching at the window. Not the hands on his face. Those remained unmoving, but his actual hand, I think. I couldn't tell for sure, as the darkness outside made it hard to see. The man, whatever he was, kept scratching at the window, his nails leaving long gashes in the glass. I scrambled to my feet and backed away slowly, my heart pounding in my chest. And then he spoke. "Flesh unto those who hunger." His voice was like nails on a chalkboard, and the words sent chills down my spine. I yelped and ran towards the back of the restaurant, my heart pounding in my chest. The scratching stopped, and I froze against a wall as I tried to stay silent. And then my phone rang. I jumped in shock and hurriedly stuffed my hand into my pocket, trying to pull it out and turn it off. I swiped at the screen frantically, my heart racing. It wouldn't stop ringing. It just kept going and going. Finally, I managed to turn it off. Yet barely seconds later, the same number called again. The screen said 667-333-6677, but I didn't know that number. Fumbling with the phone, I tried to turn it off again, but it still wouldn't. "Just stop calling already!" And then, I made the biggest mistake I've ever made. I answered the phone to get it to stop ringing. "Come down to the basement, Johnny." Who is this?" "Come down to the basement, Johnny." The voice was familiar, yet I couldn't quite place it. It sounded like the voice of someone I knew, but I couldn't be sure. And then it hit me. It sounded like one of the kids who used to work at Wendy's. A kid who had just stopped showing up to work a few months ago. A kid who had worked the night shift, just like me. "It's the only way he won't get you, Johnny." The voice on the phone was talking about the man, the thing at the window. I hung up, my heart throbbing in my chest. As I did, however, I heard a crash as the glass at the front of the restaurant.
At least the Wendy's around me, I don't have a basement. Let me know in your areas, if you guys worked at a Wendy's, let me know in the description. Is there a basement? Because at the Wendy I worked at, we didn't have a basement. We had a walk-in freezer, 1 or 2 offices, and that's about it. We didn't have a basement. We had like a shed in the back, where we kept, it was a huge metal shed, safe from weather and stuff, so we stored a lot of stuff in there outside. But that's about it, chat.
Shattered. I gasped and ran toward the back, my heart pounding in my chest. I didn't hear anyone behind me, but I knew he had to be there. The man with hands on his face. I saw the open door to the employee bathroom and threw myself in, my heart pounding. I locked the door and put my back against it, pressing my ear against the cold metal. I didn't hear anything, but that didn't mean he wasn't there. Fumbling with my phone, I shakily dialed the only number I could think of, 911. "Please hurry, pick up. He's coming for me." Come to the basement now. The voice which had answered the phone no longer sounded like that of the missing employee. It sounded like the voice of the man who was after me. And then I heard his footsteps, getting closer and closer. I whimpered and tried to make myself as small as possible. The footsteps stopped outside the door. Silence. And then I heard the unmistakable sound of scratching at the door. It grew louder and louder till I put my hands over my ears, whimpering. And then it stopped, and I instantly knew why too. He had heard the faint noise. The sound of a customer at the drive-thru.
Hello? Is anybody working here? Gosh, I'm ready to order.
I heard the customer say, and I heard the footsteps getting softer and softer until they completely disappeared. And then I heard screams, blood-curdling screams over the intercom. And then it stopped as quickly as it started, the only sound being that of my own heartbeat. Several days have passed. The official story is that it was a bear attack of some kind. A bear attack that I survived and the unfortunate family at the drive-thru did not. All I know is that if I had gone down to the basement, it would have been me, not them. I can still hear the laughter in my head. Laughter slowly driving me insane. The laughter reminds me of the man with hands on his face.
Hey, what's going on, chat? I just want to let you guys know, at the end of this video, I will not be posting a second one or fusing a second one with this one because it's starting to rain. And, you know, again, my office is not ready yet, so my office/bedroom is not ready yet, and I'm sleeping in the living room. So it'll be ready eventually, but it's not ready now. And considering it's drizzling, I need to finish this video and upload it. You will get it. You will be able to watch it tomorrow. I will premiere it for tomorrow. Exactly for tomorrow. But unfortunately, I wanted to do a much longer video. But I can't. Unfortunately, I really can't. I want to, but I can't. Anyway, you guys enjoy this content anyway, so just let's finish this. Hope you guys enjoyed the Wendy's horror stories. Go follow IMR Scary Tales. Link is in the description. Full credit goes to them.
Hiroshi stared at the couch, eyes half-lidded. I need to get home. I feel so drunk. Well, if you're gonna drive, you should at least get some coffee. Fine. Let's go to our usual breakfast at Wendy's. I drove through the deserted streets and to one of the few places open at this hour. As we pulled into the Wendy's, we saw a single car parked there. Just a small black van. It was ordinary, except for the fact that the back passenger door on the right side was open. There was no one in sight. Creepy, muttered Hiroshi, as I parked several spots away from the car. A drunk probably just forgot to close it. Sounds like something you do. Oh, shut up, I replied. I stepped out of the car and made it a point to close the door as theatrically as possible. It slammed shut with a loud thud that resonated in the empty lot. We stepped inside and were greeted by a woman in her late 40s. Pamela was written on her name tag. I was a little surprised because we eat at Wendy's every single morning, but I never saw her. Not even yesterday. But then, I thought she might be new to the graveyard shift. She smiled at us and said,
Since you're the only customer here, why don't I give you guys some special treatment?
None of us expected the waitress to flirt like that. We were drunk, so we kind of enjoyed her attention. I nodded my head and Pamela escorted us to our seats.
I'll give you a minute,
she said, before turning on her heels and walking into the kitchen. From the corner of my eyes, I could see her staring at Hiroshi. I was looking through the options on the menu board when Hiroshi said, Isn't she being too nice? Well, she is clearly into me. I laughed.
What'll it be?
Pamela asked suddenly. I hadn't even heard her come up. Hiroshi smiled awkwardly. 1 Baconator, please. She scribbled down her order on a notepad. Her hand moved in quick, jagged motions. And could I have some coffee? I added. She stared at me coldly.
No.
No, I replied.
You didn't want anything earlier when I asked. You're not getting any now.
I couldn't tell if she was serious or just cracking a practical joke. I looked at Hiroshi. He was shocked too. My friend wasn't sure back then. Could you bring coffee for both of us? He asked. Once he said this, Pamela's attitude changed. Her gaze softened, her voice became lighter, and her frown was replaced by a subtle smile.
Anything for you, dear.
She said with a creepy smile.
That's weird.
She walked away.
And cute at the same
I don't
time.
think the server likes you very much. She's only being nice to you because you're sitting next to me. She likes me. Yeah, that's what you said.
No, most waiters, if they know that you come in drunk and you're not acting inappropriate, they're gonna treat you like a child. They're like, what's going on, dear? What would you like for breakfast? Or what would you like for dinner? Would you like a cup of coffee, some water? They're gonna be sweeter and nicer to you when you're drunk, as long as you're not being a creep. Because that's just how a lot of waiters are. That's how I used to be with a lot of females and a lot of males that came into a diner that I used to work at. So yeah.
About Samantha, too. Remind me again, who closed the deal with her? I got quiet with Hiroshi's taunt. I liked Samantha, but she, too, chose him. Jerk. I mumbled. Pamela came back with 2 cups of coffee. She stretched her arms over the table and set them both in front of Hiroshi. She then placed a hand on his shoulder and looked at him in the eyes.
Here you go, dear.
She said, before pulling away. Hiroshi thanked her, then waited for her to be out of sight before handing me the extra cup of coffee. Again, I wasn't sure whether Pamela was serious or messing with us. Her rude behavior was either teeming with playful sarcasm or genuine. Whichever it was making me feel a little tense. I felt like I had to walk on eggshells around her. I wondered if she was treating her other customers the same way, but when I glanced over at the other tables, I remembered we were alone. She's being weird, right? I asked. It's 4:30. She's probably been here all night and wants to go home. Give her some slack. I mean, she works the night shift at Pamela's, for crying out loud. We're lucky she hasn't flipped us off and walked off yet. Hiroshi brought the cup of coffee to his face and inhaled the fumes. I could see a sparkle of glee twinkling in his eyes as he took a sip. It was exactly what he needed. Pamela came back and put the burger in the middle. We decided to share. I was eating in peace until I spotted Pamela looking at us from across the counter. There was something about the way she did it that made me nervous. She didn't have the attentive gaze of someone checking on us. No, there was something more aggressive about it, something almost predatory. It gave me the creeps. Hiroshi pushed his plate away and then cracked his back. Yeah, that's just what I needed. I was done with the creepy waitress watching us, so I made the first move. I wandered to the register and Hiroshi followed. I took out my wallet to pay her, but she completely ignored me and shifted her eyes at Hiroshi.
Leaving so soon, dear?
She asked, making no effort to hide the fact that she was addressing Hiroshi and Hiroshi alone. He smiled. Sorry, honey. Wish we could stick around longer, but we need to beat rush hour traffic. He joked. She put her hand on his forearm and smiled back at him.
How sad. I thought I could talk to you alone for once.
And then gave me a death stare to imply I was being the third wheel. Then, she did something which I didn't expect. She leaned onto the counter, brought her face extremely close to Hiroshi, and bit Hiroshi's cheek. Stop! Stop! I was paranoid by the sight. Pamela was biting Hiroshi's cheek like a mad dog, her teeth piercing his skin, making him bleed terribly. He started pushing her away, throwing his hands in the air, screaming like a timid rabbit, but Pamela didn't let him go. Pamela suddenly let him go, but grabbed his shirt so he couldn't escape. She turned her bloody face towards me and yelled,
"Don't you dare come between us, or I'll shoot you!"
She took out a gun and pointed it at me. I raised my arms, gesturing I surrendered.
So, are you having fun now, dear?
Who are you?
You won't recognize me, but I'm sure you will remember my daughter, Samantha.
What? You're Samantha's mom?
Damn right I am. I have been searching for you for the last week. You broke Samantha's heart. You played with her feelings just to get laid. It's because of you she killed herself. Are you enjoying my company now? Huh?
I wasn't ready for what happened next. She pushed Hiroshi away and then raised her gun at him. A loud gunshot took place, followed by a thud. I collapsed on the ground, covering my ears, and heard running footsteps along with a car picking up high speed. When I opened my eyes, everything was over. Pamela was gone. So was the black van outside. Hiroshi's body was lying lifeless on the floor in a pool of blood. I somehow managed to call the cops. They're on their way. I now notice the pair of legs peeking from the doorway of the kitchen. This must be the real employees of this Wendy's.
Thank you so much, chat, for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe and hit that post notification bell to be notified every time I upload. Go over to my channel, and for my channel trailer is my new song that's dropping, which is my Halloween song that I made, which will be premiering October 31st at 3 a.m., the witching hour. So make sure you guys go hit the notification bell on that to be notified when it premieres. Go over and subscribe to IMR Scary Tales. Link will be in the description. Go follow them on Instagram right there. I know I am. Mwah. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for your support and the amount of views that I'm getting on these. I love you all so much, and have one beautiful, beautiful, tasty, beautiful night. And I love you all so much. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.